My friend, life is the most precious gift you will ever be given. You only get one. There are no replays, no rewinds, and no second drafts. Once this day is gone, it's gone forever. The question is not how long you will live, but how well you will live. Every breath you take is a reminder that you are still on a divine clock, and the seconds are slipping away. Too many people drift through their days as if time is a cheap commodity. They scroll endlessly, chase approval, chase comfort, chase pleasure, but they never chase purpose. And in the end, they look back and realize they have climbed the ladder of success, only to find it leaning against the wrong wall. Don't let that be you. Don't waste your life chasing what will not last. Life is not measured by how much you accumulate, but by how much you contribute. You were not born just to exist, to work, to sleep, and to repeat. You were created to make a difference, to bring light where there's darkness, to bring hope where there's despair, to bring love where there's hate. The tragedy of life is not death itself. It's living without purpose, dying with dreams still buried inside you. Every one of us is given the same 24 hours in a day. The difference between those who rise and those who regret lies in how they spend those hours. Do you spend them creating or complaining? Do you use them to grow or to gossip? Time wasted is life wasted, and once gone, it never returns. Some people live 70 years, but if you look closer, they've only truly lived 10 of them. The rest was just repetition, routine, survival. But you are not meant for survival, you are meant for significance. You are meant to live with fire in your heart, conviction in your soul, and a reason that wakes you up in the morning with purpose. Every great person who ever walked this earth understood one thing: life is short, but impact is eternal. You may not control how long you live, but you can control what your life stands for. You can leave footprints that outlast your time here. The world does not remember those who merely existed. It remembers those who lived with passion, purpose, and conviction. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. It doesn't exist. Stop waiting for the right opportunity. Create it. The future belongs to those who refuse to waste their present. You can't keep putting off your dreams, your growth, your calling, thinking tomorrow will be easier. Tomorrow is never guaranteed. What you don't do today, you may never do at all. When you lie down at night, ask yourself, if my life ended tonight, would I be proud of how I lived it? Have I used my gifts or buried them? Have I lifted someone up or only looked out for myself? Have I made time for what matters or traded meaning for comfort? These are the questions that define a legacy. Your life is a story, and every choice you make is a sentence in that story. Some choose to write tragedy, some comedy, some confusion, but you can choose to write triumph. You can decide right now to live fully awake, to live with purpose, to waste nothing. Maybe you've made mistakes, maybe you've lost time, but hear this. Your past may explain you, but it doesn't define you. As long as you have breath in your lungs, there's still time to turn things around. You can still become the person you were meant to be. You can still rise from the ashes of wasted years and build a life that counts. Don't waste your time trying to be someone else. The world needs what only you can give. Don't waste your energy on people who don't believe in you. Use that energy to prove that you can rise. Don't waste your talents chasing temporary applause. Use them to leave eternal impact. When the final chapter of your life is written, let it say you lived with purpose, you loved deeply, you gave freely, you did not waste your life. The clock is ticking, the days are passing, the opportunities are fading, but it's not too late, not if you start now. So rise up, live with intention, fight for your purpose. Invest your time, your energy, your heart into what truly matters. Because one day, when you look back, you won't regret the chances you took, the love you gave, or the purpose you pursued. You'll only regret the life you wasted if you let it slip by without truly living. Don't waste your life. Live it every moment, every breath, every heartbeat. Live it for what lasts forever. It's never too late to begin again. Those words may sound simple, but they carry power. Power that can breathe life into tired hearts, restore broken dreams, and reignite the fire that failure tried to extinguish. Too many people give up too soon. They look at their past mistakes, their lost time, their regrets, and they convince themselves that it's over, that they've missed their chance. But hear this clearly: as long as you have breath in your lungs, you have another opportunity. Your story isn't over. It's just waiting for you to turn the page. Life is not about never falling. It's about rising every time you do. The greatest people in history were not those who never failed, but those who refused to stay down when they did. Every champion was once a beginner who almost quit. Every success story has chapters of struggle, of disappointment, of doubt. But what separates those who rise from those who remain stuck is a simple decision: the decision to begin again. You see, the past can be a prison if you let it. It can chain you to guilt, to shame, to what could have been. But you hold the key, the power to unlock those chains and step into a new beginning. Every day you wake up is a silent invitation from life itself, whispering, you still have time. You still have purpose. You can still change. Maybe you've wasted years in fear. Maybe you've made mistakes that cost you relationships, opportunities, or confidence. Maybe life hasn't turned out the way you imagined. But that doesn't mean your story ends in defeat. Some of the most beautiful transformations happen after the greatest failures. Sometimes losing everything gives you the clarity to see what truly matters. Sometimes hitting the bottom gives you the strength to rebuild stronger than ever before. Don't let your past define who you are. Let it refine who you become. What you've been through isn't meant to destroy you. It's meant to prepare you. Every tear, every setback, every disappointment can become the foundation for something greater if you choose to start again. It's not the end that defines you. It's the courage to make a new beginning. There are people who start new careers in their 50s, who go back to school in their 60s, who find love, purpose, and hope after decades of darkness. The reason they do is because they realized one truth: it's never too late. The world may try to tell you that your time has passed, that you failed too often, that you've missed your chance, but that's a lie. The moment you choose to start again, you step back into the flow of life. You take control of your story. It's easy to look back and wish you'd started sooner, but wishing changes nothing. Beginning changes everything. You can't rewrite the first chapters, but you can decide how the story ends. Maybe you can't go back and undo your mistakes, but you can move forward with wisdom gained from them. Every mistake is a teacher, every loss a lesson, every ending an open door to something new. The truth is, every sunrise brings a new chance. A chance to forgive, to rebuild, to love again, to believe again. You may have failed 1,000 times, but success only requires one more try. You may have been broken, but broken things can still shine when light passes through them. Your scars don't make you weak. They make you real. They remind you that you've survived what others could not. When you decide to begin again, you're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience. You now carry lessons, perspective, and strength you didn't have before. The things that once broke you can now build you, if you let them. Your story can still inspire others. Your pain can still birth purpose. Your journey can still make a difference. The world doesn't need more perfect people. It needs people who have fallen, who have failed, who have been through the fire and come out with compassion and courage. You can be that person. You can rise again, not in spite of your past, but because of it. When everything seems lost, when the darkness feels endless, remind yourself, this is not the end. The same God who created new days can create new beginnings for you. The same power that raised others from despair can raise you too. What looks like an ending might just be the beginning of something beautiful. Don't underestimate the strength within you. You've overcome storms before. You can overcome this one too. Life isn't about how fast you move. It's about having the courage to take one more step. Even when you're scared, even when you're tired. That one step forward, that single act of faith, can change the entire direction of your life. If you wait for perfect conditions, you'll never move. There will never be a right time. There will never be a moment when you feel completely ready. The right time is always now. Start small. Start scared. Start unsure. But just start, because action creates momentum, and momentum creates transformation. You may not see the results right away, but every effort counts. Every act of courage builds strength. Every time you choose to keep going, even when you feel broken, you prove that your spirit is unshakable. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to believe that your life still matters, that your story still has value, and that it's never too late to begin again. When you finally rise, you'll realize something powerful. The pain you went through wasn't wasted. The seasons of waiting, the moments of doubt, they were shaping you for something greater. They were preparing you to appreciate the life you're about to live. You'll see that the ashes of your past can become the soil for new beginnings. One day, you'll look back and be grateful you didn't quit. You'll be thankful you decided to try one more time when everything in you said it was over. Because that one decision to begin again will become the turning point of your life. So today, right now, make the decision. Let go of regret. Let go of guilt. Let go of what's behind you and step boldly into what's ahead. You are not your mistakes. You are not your failures. You are a living, breathing possibility of redemption and renewal. Your time is not over. Your best days are not behind you. You have more to give, more to learn, more to live. The world still needs what you carry. So rise up, take a deep breath, and start again. Not because it's easy, but because your life is worth it. Time is the one thing every human being is given equally. Whether you are rich or poor, young or old, powerful or unknown, every morning you are handed the same 24 hours. But what separates the fulfilled from the frustrated, the extraordinary from the ordinary, is not how much time they have, but how they choose to spend it. Time is life's greatest currency, and once it's spent, it's gone forever. You can earn money again, rebuild relationships, or recover from failure, but you can never recover lost time. Every second that passes is a silent reminder that life is moving, with or without you. The greatest tragedy is not death itself, but the life that was never lived. Too many people waste years waiting for the right moment, hoping for the perfect season, or delaying their dreams until someday, and someday never comes. They treat time as if it's infinite, as if they have an endless supply of tomorrows. But the truth is, your time on this earth is limited, and every day you are one step closer to the end of your story. The question is, what will your story say? Time doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't slow down for anyone. You can't bargain with it, you can't bribe it, and you can't control it. But you can respect it, you can value it, and you can use it to create something that outlasts it. Each day you wake up is like receiving a deposit into your life account, 400 seconds. How you spend those seconds determines what kind of return you get on your investment. Are you spending them on things that move you forward, or wasting them on distractions that drain your potential? When you truly understand that time is your most valuable asset, you start living differently. You begin to say no to what doesn't align with your purpose. You stop chasing every distraction that screams for your attention. You stop living for validation and start living for vision. You realize that every moment wasted scrolling, comparing, or complaining is a moment you can never get back. A piece of your destiny slipping away quietly. Think about this. People will guard their money carefully, their homes with locks, their cars with alarms. But few guard their time. They let others steal it through meaningless conversations, pointless arguments, and endless entertainment. They give away hours that could have been spent building dreams, strengthening faith, or deepening relationships. Time thieves come in many forms: fear, laziness, comparison, and even comfort. The most dangerous of them all is procrastination, the silent killer of potential. Procrastination whispers, "You have time." But that's a lie. You don't know how much time you have. None of us do. The clock is ticking even as you read these words. Every second brings you closer to the finish line, whether you are ready or not. And that is why you must live with urgency, not panic, but purpose. Urgency reminds you that life is short and that your time is too precious to be spent on anything less than what truly matters. When you start valuing time, you start valuing life. You stop wasting days in regret over yesterday or worry about tomorrow. You start focusing on what can be done now. The present moment becomes sacred because it's the only part of time you can actually control. The past is gone and the future hasn't arrived. But right now, in this moment, you have the power to change your direction, rewrite your story, and live intentionally. Time is also a test of character. How you use your time reveals what you value most. Show me your calendar, and I'll show you your priorities. Show me how you spend your hours, and I'll show you the direction your life is headed. If you give your time to distractions, you'll end up with emptiness. But if you invest it in growth, faith, service, and love, you'll end up with fulfillment. The difference between success and regret is not talent, it's time management with purpose. Every great person who left a mark on history understood the worth of time. They didn't wait for opportunities, they made them. They didn't let their days be dictated by fear or comfort. They lived deliberately. They woke up with purpose, used their hours wisely, and treated every day as a gift. Because it is. You only get one life. You don't get a second version, an alternate reality, or an option to restart. This is it, right here, right now. What are you doing with it? Are you living fully awake or sleepwalking through your days? Are you investing in your dreams, your health, your family, your calling, or are you wasting the hours on things that won't matter a year from now? The truth is, how you spend your time today determines who you become tomorrow. If you waste your hours, you waste your potential. But if you use them wisely, if you learn, grow, and take small steps toward your purpose, your life becomes a masterpiece built one day at a time. There will come a day when time runs out, When your story reaches its final page, when the clock stops, and all that remains are the memories you created and the legacy you left behind. On that day, nothing will matter more than how you spent your time. Not your money, not your possessions, not your status, but the life you lived and the people you impacted along the way. So choose carefully. Guard your hours like treasure. Spend them on what gives meaning, not just pleasure. Spend them with people who lift you higher, not those who pull you down. Spend them doing what ignites your soul, not what numbs it. Because every second you waste is a piece of your destiny you'll never recover. Make a commitment today to live intentionally, to value time deeply, and to never take a single day for granted. Wake up every morning with gratitude that you've been given another chance, another day to love, to serve, to grow, to build, to become. Because one day, that chance will be gone. Your time is your life, and your life is a gift. Don't spend it carelessly. Don't trade it for comfort or convenience. Don't let it slip away unnoticed. Use it wisely. Invest it boldly. And when your time here is done, let it be said that you didn't just exist, you lived. Because in the end, it won't be how much time you had that matters, but what you did with the time you were given. Time is life's greatest currency. Spend it on what will last forever. In a world that celebrates comfort, entertainment, and instant gratification, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters. We are surrounded by distractions, screens that never sleep, opinions that never end, and desires that are never satisfied. Every day, we are told to chase happiness, to pursue what feels good, to build a life that looks beautiful on the outside. But here's the truth: pleasure fades, while purpose fulfills. The difference between a life that shines and one that simply survives lies in the choice between what feels good now and what truly matters forever. Pleasure is easy. It's quick, convenient, and temporary. It's that burst of excitement when you buy something new, the thrill of a compliment, the fleeting satisfaction of being liked, followed, or noticed. But the glow of pleasure always fades, and when it does, it leaves behind an emptiness, a quiet voice that asks, "Is this all there is?" Purpose, on the other hand, demands something deeper. It asks for commitment, sacrifice, and perseverance. It doesn't always feel good in the moment, but it builds a foundation of meaning that no temporary pleasure can replace. The greatest tragedy in life is not pain, it's living without purpose. You can have everything this world offers, money, fame, success, and still wake up feeling hollow. Because pleasure feeds the body, but purpose feeds the soul. Purpose gives direction when life feels uncertain. It gives strength when pain hits hard. It gives clarity when the world tells you to chase everything and everyone. When you live for pleasure, you live for moments. When you live for purpose, you live for meaning. The difference is eternal. One ends when the feeling fades, the other grows even when the world turns against you. A life of pleasure will keep you entertained, but a life of purpose will keep you fulfilled. Many people spend their entire lives trying to fill an inner void with outer things. They think, if I just earn more, I'll be happy. If I just get that relationship, that car, that house, that recognition, then I'll feel complete. But the heart was never designed to be filled by possessions or applause. It was designed for meaning, for love, for contribution. Pleasure can numb the pain for a moment, but only purpose can heal it. Living with purpose means asking hard questions. Why am I here? What difference am I making? What legacy will I leave behind? It's not about being perfect or achieving everything. It's about living intentionally, doing what matters even when it's difficult. It's about understanding that comfort never creates greatness. Growth only happens when you step beyond what's easy. Think about those who changed the world. They didn't chase pleasure, they chased purpose. They didn't settle for comfort, they embraced challenge. They didn't live for themselves, they lived for something greater. Every great movement, every great invention, every act of courage began with someone who decided that living with purpose was worth more than living with ease. Pleasure says, take it easy. Purpose says, take a stand. Pleasure says, do what feels good. Purpose says, do what is right. Pleasure says, live for today. Purpose says, live for what will last. When you live for purpose, even your pain becomes powerful. Struggles become stepping stones. Setbacks become lessons. Because you start to see that everything you go through is preparing you for something greater. You stop running from challenges and start using them to refine your strength. You begin to understand that fulfillment doesn't come from what you get, but from what you give. Pleasure often comes from taking, but purpose is found in giving your time, your love, your talent, your energy to something beyond yourself. When you give, you grow. When you serve, you strengthen. When you live for others, your own life becomes richer and more meaningful. The irony is this: when you chase pleasure, it runs away from you. But when you chase purpose, pleasure follows naturally. True joy is not found in escape, but in engagement. It's found in knowing that your life matters, that you are part of something bigger than yourself. Too many people waste their best years waiting for the perfect moment to start living with purpose. They tell themselves, once I'm older, once I'm richer, once I have more time, then I'll do what matters. But tomorrow is not promised. Purpose must begin today. Every small act of kindness, every moment of courage, every choice to do what's right builds the foundation of a meaningful life. Living with purpose doesn't mean you'll never feel tired, afraid, or unsure. It means you'll keep going even when you do. It means waking up with a reason even when motivation fades. It means doing what matters even when no one sees, because you know that your value isn't defined by applause, but by integrity. Pleasure fades in the shadows of time, but purpose shines even in the darkest nights. The joy that comes from living with meaning cannot be replaced by any luxury, any thrill, or any amount of success. When you live with purpose, even the simplest things, like helping someone, creating something, or growing a little each day, become sacred. One day, when your time on this earth is done, no one will remember how many followers you had, how many things you owned, or how perfect your life looked on the outside. They'll remember how you made them feel. They'll remember your kindness, your courage, your conviction. They'll remember that you stood for something, that you lived with purpose. So choose purpose over pleasure. Choose meaning over comfort. Choose growth over ease. Because pleasure fades, but purpose builds legacy. Every moment you spend living with intention is a moment invested in eternity. Every step toward your calling is a step toward fulfillment that will never fade. Life is not about how much you enjoy, but about how deeply you impact. You will never regret living with purpose. You will only regret the time you spent living without it. So stop settling for temporary highs that leave you empty. Start living for what fills you from within. Purpose may cost you comfort, but it will give you peace. It may demand sacrifice, but it will give you strength. It may not always feel good, but it will always do good. And that is the kind of life worth living. So ask yourself today, what am I living for? What am I giving my time, my energy, my heart to? Because what you live for is what defines you. You can either spend your life chasing moments that vanish, or you can spend it building something that lasts. Don't waste your days chasing what won't matter tomorrow. Invest them in what will echo forever. Because when you choose purpose over pleasure, you don't just live longer, you live deeper. And that, my friend, is the secret to a life well lived.